but obviously we all know what he does to elevate the rest of the guys when he's passing. So do you have a preference, or I know you just usually defer to Nikola, but do you have a preference of what kind of, how he approaches that?
Well, the thing you love about Nikola is that he's going to read the game. You know, I mean, early in the game, they were double teaming him. So he found the open man. And when they played him one-on-one, he attacked the basket. And I think that's the thing I probably admire about him most. He never goes into a game or a possession with a premeditated notion of, this is what I'm doing. Because he's going to read how the defense is guarding him and us. But with that being said, you know, when Nikola is being aggressive and has that mindset, it elevates his game, but more importantly, I think it elevates the team's game, and all the guys around him kind of follow suit.
Were you able to sneak in graduation last night with your daughter?
I was. It was at Red Rocks for 3 hours. 3 hours I'll never get back. But it was great to be there, to see my daughter walk across the stage. I'm probably in the minority. I'm not a huge fan of graduations. I think you're supposed to graduate high school, but I do love my daughter, Caitlin, very proud of her. But it started raining. I'm sitting there at Red Rocks. It's raining, and I'm saying we're playing the Lakers tomorrow. But it's all good. Happy graduation, Caitlin.
Hey, Michael, speaking of reading the game, LeBron seemed to start to seek out Jamal on those screens and switches. If you anticipate that happening today, is there any different way you'd like to play that? Would you like not to give up the switches so easily just because it could get Jamal in foul trouble, or you have a different sort of outlook on that?
No, I mean, yeah, we have to keep Jamal out of foul trouble. You know, he's obviously of tremendous importance to our team, and we're much better when he is on the floor and not on the bench in foul trouble. So, you know, they run a ton of pick and rolls. I mean, drag screens, high pick and rolls, step ups, whatever it may be. So throughout the course of 48 minutes, we have to do a better job of giving them different looks while protecting our players, and that's what we aim to do tonight.
Coach, a lot has been made of the Rui Hachimura adjustment that the Lakers made in the last game. It reminded a little bit of the way that teams used to defend Giannis, building a wall. How do you take advantage in that situation when teams are going to overload the paint as often as they are?
Once again, we've seen this before, and Nikola's going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. This is the first time I've ever been in a series up 1-0, and the series is over in everybody's eyes because they put Rui Hachimura on Nikola Jokic for 6 possessions. So let's see how it plays out tonight.
Michael, on that adjustment, you know, the Lakers made it. It came in a loss. You guys have obviously had time to kind of prepare for it. Just as a head coach, does that kind of hurt to make an adjustment like that and it not work? Or if you have that adjustment at your disposal, do you feel like just philosophically you should just make it as soon as possible?
Well, I'm not much of a philosopher, so I think any coach, you're going to do whatever you have to do to win a game. And if it's, you know, going to it in game 1 of a series, and they feel that they've found something, then, you know, kudos to them. You know, same thing for us. Like, we're going to do things differently tonight than we did in game 1. I think it's a constant analyzing what were the areas that we struggled in and what we have to do better at, and addressing those. And as I mentioned yesterday, I think for us, fortunately, to address those after a win and have 25 clips where you can show defensively, like, this is not what we were supposed to do, and B, this is what we're going to try to do tomorrow night. And so, you know, that's the nature of adjustments in a series. But for me, sometimes you don't want to hold on to something. If you feel it's going to help you, you know, throw it out there and see if it's going to work.
Michael, is Jamal fully recovered from the sickness he was dealing with?
I wouldn't say fully. You know, talking to him this morning, I think he's still battling something. I think whatever's kind of gone through our team is still lingering a little bit, but he's definitely in a better place, but not 100%.
Hey, Michael. Obviously, best regular season record in the West, 2-time MVP, up for his 3rd MVP. Yet in many ways, this team still kind of flew under the radar this season in some senses. What do you make of that?
I don't make much of it. It's you know, I've been here 8 years now. So I guess maybe you kind of grow accustomed to it. There are people who are still kind of being introduced to who Nikola Jokic is. and the guy just put on a 34, 21, and 14 performance. And oh, by the way, he's averaging a triple-double in the playoffs. So it is what it is. You know, we don't want to spend and waste any time or energy on worrying about that. We have much bigger things to worry about, like trying to beat a really talented LA Laker team who is going to come in here and give us everything they can to try to steal a game on our home court. That's where our focus is.
Hey, Michael, what's going to be the biggest key to replicating what you guys were able to do in the first quarter of Game 1 tonight?
Defense. You know, if you look at the box score, Harrison, last game, that was the only quarter we played defense. I think it was 25 points for them. They only shot 40%. And the rebounding, like we dominated the glass. That's one of the reasons they're talking about starting much bigger tonight, because I think at one point early in that game, the rebound margin was 22-3, and we were getting second and third opportunities. So if we can replicate anything, it's going to be that defense that we started Game 1 with, because that also allows us to get out and run and attack, and that's when we're at our best.
Last one, Jeff.
Michael, there is a lot of discussion about adjustments and what each team is going to do. As much as you can, what are those discussions like with your coaching staff? Lighthearted, intense? What is the characterization of them?
Well, I think, you know, we started having those conversations during the game of Game 1. I mean, their size and physicality was hurting all the switching that we were doing. And, you know, so those conversations during games can be somewhat animated, you know, because it's in the moment. And then, you know, we always come back, we all watch the film after the game, then we get together early the next morning and we take our time going through the film and seeing, okay, what really hurt us, how did they hurt us, and what can we do to fix that and give them a different look. So for us, it's more of a very detailed and calculated discussion, and making sure then once we meet with our team and present that argument, that it's clear and concise. So now that team can go out there and execute that game plan without confusion or thinking, but doing and being aggressive and doing that game plan. And hopefully we'll have some carryover and be better in those areas tonight.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.